Hello, good morning, traders, and welcome back here at XM Live Education in the beginner room. And this is the weekly outlook with me. My name is Frank, and I'm welcoming everyone here at xmglobal.com in our home site, and of course, as well, our traders and viewers out on YouTube. So, um, please be welcome to the session. What we are doing in this session is actually, as always, we are looking in what can happen during the week, what could be potentially our trades for the week, and how in generally our major markets that we are usually looking at, how we are seeing them at this very moment, if we want to go rather positioning ourselves on the buying side or on the selling side. We are looking usually at 9 markets here, and of course everybody who has a special market which is not covered by the 9 markets, of course you can bring it up in our chat and tell me which market you want to see, and we are looking at it in this way. As we are in the beginner room, we keep the analysis style really pretty simple. We keep as well the trading setups relatively simple so that everybody could as well find, for example, a great opportunity to try the trades, to find a kind of a procedure in, first of all, getting an idea in which direction the market would like to move. And on the other hand, as well, how to get into such a trade involved, for example. Let's clean up here this chart and give you a brief example on the gold market, which actually is also one of the markets that we are looking definitely on it. It's one of the 9 markets. So maybe I give you very first the overview of which 9 markets we are talking about always, and then you can decide whether your market is in the list. So you can be leaning back, enjoying and waiting for your market to come, or you're prioritizing and say, hey, can you look please at this market first? Or if your market even is not on the list, type it in and tell me, hey, I would like to see silver, I would like to see corn, wheat, Microsoft, whatever you is in your idea, or even the electrical vehicles index that is actually also tradable here, for example. Tell me, and we are looking into this and finding it out. But first of all, the 9 markets that we are usually looking at. I open here my report, and in the report I will be quickly giving you like the overview about the 9 markets, which they are. I can name you them. This is definitely euro dollar, British pound, US dollar, euro Aussie dollar, euro Canadian dollar, euro New Zealand dollar that we are seeing here. Gold market we talked about, the oil market, and as well German 40 and US 30 indices that we are very frequently actually talking here about. And this is a sentiment display. I will come later to this one still, but I just wanted to give you quickly the overview about the 9 markets we are talking about. And now let's get started maybe with the gold market. That is at the moment relatively interesting. I tried to clean it a little bit up, taking the trade history for the moment out. And we are always going and analyzing it from the weekly perspective. So the weekly perspective means candle by candle analysis. I just recognize that I'm still having to log myself in into the chat that I can read as well your comments or questions if there are any. I'm quickly doing that I don't forget about it. So still was in the other room from the previous session. So of course there I could not read the most accurate questions. So there I am. Okay, so we are starting from the weekly bars. The weekly bars always have a low price and a high price, and they have a body, right? This is what we call a candlestick. And then you compare this. If you have, for example, in the last week, a higher low and a higher high, we had a higher low and a higher high. This is indicating, first of all, that the market was kind of growing during the week, but the body is telling you how it opened and how it closed. And you see that we opened here at around the weekly close from the week before last week. We were rallying to the upside. We were trading the whole week back, and we were closing even a little bit, tiny little bit lower than in the previous week, and then the weekly and the week open. So we had a negative week on gold, slightly negative. But what we also see is that we were closing inside the previous week's candle. So we don't have a bullish candle anymore. We have a range candle now. Yeah, so we closed in the range of the previous week, and we have this tremendous sell-off in the last week as well towards the end of the week. If you look at it day by day, so you see here we were starting the week on the 15th. We had like 2 days of growth, and then we were turning around on one day, Tuesday on Wednesday, Thursday selling day, Friday selling day, Monday question mark. We don't know it yet. But this is implicitly telling us we might be going in a short situation. And this is what the weekly candle as well is implicitly telling us here. We had a beginning, a very good week, selling off. And even if we have a higher low and a higher high, we do see some bearishness inside the gold market. And you see, I'm already putting myself a sell stop order below the last week's low, because if we are breaking this low, there is a good chance that we are reaching as well the low before the week before the last week. And this is how I'm going to analyze it, for example. So now is the question. So that means my weekly outlook for the gold market would be that we certainly might see some further moves to the downside. This doesn't exclude that gold also could grow and go up. But my priority at the moment would lay on the fact that I would be looking for short opportunities. And if I'm now an intraday trader, I would potentially go to the I would potentially go first of all to the hourly chart, and I would be looking for exactly such opportunity. And you see here some red and some blue arrows in the chart already, and this is actually signals that we could be like trading actually if we are following the trend now. So that means that always after we see like a move to the upside, like here we saw a move to the upside, and then we're seeing like that actually the candle, they're now dropping again, and then we're getting into short signals. So we move to the upside, and then we go here to the downside. Yeah, and this is signals that we want to wait for. So at the moment, we're a little bit late for the signal. The market already accelerated from the last short signal, quite some 50 pips down. So, or like yeah, $5 we saw already moved to the downside today. So at the moment we are a little bit late for this move. That means that we would have to wait exactly for the same situation that we see now, another signal forming for a short trade. So how this could look like. And now to keep it again really as simple as we somehow can, we are looking here again for candle by candle situation. That means you would require to come every hour back, and here you can already say probably you would at least need 2 hours to before you come back, because this candle might form however it wants. The first situation that we see in a way that we get an up candle and then again a down candle by just comparing the highs and the lows, it takes at least 2 hours, right? Because we had a low candle here, a down candle, lower high, lower low, and now we don't know yet how this period is closing. It potentially might still be a higher low, higher high candle. At the moment, doesn't look like, but we need definitely first of all higher high, higher low, and then we need to get into a lower high. Yeah, so, and this is what I'm saying. Okay, now we are just starting the hour. So definitely we have to wait. When you're looking at my watch here, it's 9 a.m. in the morning, 9 a.m., 9 minutes. We at least have to wait until 11 before at all we could potentially get a new signal for the gold market onto the short side. And that this is actually what you might be waiting for many hours sometimes, um, and yeah, and from that perspective you might sometimes even wait for the whole day. Yeah, and you see as well here, when you were still long orientated last week, we had here a possibility when we're still sleeping, then it needed for waiting for quite some hour. until to the afternoon hours before we got this move to the upside, for example, here. So patience is a keyword as well in trading that you have to have. It's not coming always at exactly the time when we're starting the PC a signal. No, we have to wait for really the setups that we would like to see. And then when you see a rollover like that, right, then you have a good chance as well to take the first short signal. Or if you have a rollover like here from a short situation to a long situation, then you can even enter into the situations pretty early. And of course, also, if we are seeing, for example, that we had a first signal, but we see better prices and the signal is not get turned yet to the red area so that we don't have yet a downtrend happening, then we can still enter it as well to a better price, of course. So the question is when such blue and red is happening. I tell you, it's also pretty simple. So how you can determine this? First of all, what you could do as a very simple situation is just put yourself a moving average in, like here 60 moving average, or you make faster moving average, and this is how these arrows here are gonna create it as well. Let me check what the settings are right now. We have 513 right now. Maybe if this makes it interesting. Yeah, 513 right now. So that means that certainly you could change here to moving average, for example, let's say, you know, I don't know, 821. Let's take it to 821 is a combination many traders like a lot. And then you see, for example, different kind of forming. So what does it mean if we are having here moving averages in 8, and then I make it in a different color, the 21. Yeah, so you see, for example, that here always such situation can occur only when we have 8 above 21 moving average, and then we have a move to the downside, lower high, lower low, and then you get a signal. Lower high, lower low, you get a signal, and so on and so on. And of course, the earlier you get this kind of trades or movements, the better it is. And here you see now we got a nice short signal this morning. We are even at similar prices we have been starting it. So what we could do, for example, here as well, we could try, for example, a small short trade. We are at around the price, so maybe we can even place a limit order. So market is coming back in this area, putting, for example, our stop loss above the structure high here, 2414. Yeah, if it in case that it would go to the long side of market, and then you could, for example, just schedule the low here at 2939. 2393. This was the right one, right? 2393. Exactly. So, and then you have the trade already placed. So if market is coming now a little bit higher, back into this where the price level was, we are getting executed short. Our target lays here. Our stop loss, we can make a little bit tighter here above it. Usually we can always orientate ourselves at the local highs and lows for trading it. Yeah, so this is exactly how we're gonna do. Hey, good morning, Ace. Euro market open in 7 minutes. Ah, this was in the previous session. I see that. Okay, okay, okay. This is how we gonna analyze it in a nutshell. We go to the weekly, look at the candles that we are having. Do we have an up candle, a down candle, a range candle? How the body looks like, and we are making an assessment. Okay, I would like to rather trade to the short side, if I would like, or to the long side, depending on what it is. And then we're looking on the intraday time frames for exactly such trades in trend direction, meaning that we would like to go in direction of our analyzed direction, let me say that way. And then we would like to go as well in a retracement into this situation. So out of the retracement, you see here, move impulse to the downside, retracement. This is what we want to get. So let me quickly move back to 218. Trend continuation is filtering, you see. And then, for example, that's the situation that we got. So here actually we need even to move higher. It's the price. Here was the right entry price. So this is what we could actually here. So get a better risk reward out of it. Okay, so this was it for the gold market. And to keep a little bit track on that, what I'm doing usually is I'm keeping here a little market file that we are looking at our analysis perspective. So you see we had yesterday, last week, a gold. In the beginning of the week, it worked still fine. That was great. This is from the last week. So then we're going now into the week of the 22nd. And you see that last week already, we had an idea to short the gold market. Here we now rather go short. We have higher low, higher high candle in a form of a range candle